Welcome back to the deep dive. We're here to, take all those fragmented product specs you send us and really turn them into clear, usable knowledge. And today, we are diving into a piece of equipment that seems to have a bit of an identity crisis.
That's putting it mildly.
Yeah, the description you sent was, it was wild. Electric, portable, heating, vibrating back massager chair. It just went on and on.
Right.
But when you peel back that marketing layer and really look at the science, what we have is a serious, high-powered piece of tech, an ultrasound physiotherapy therapy machine.
And that's our mission today. Let's just ignore the fluff and look at the actual physics. This isn't just a gadget.
Yeah.
We're talking about a portable unit that uses therapeutic ultrasound.
Mm-hmm.
This is a treatment that's been proven effective for, over 80 years now?
Wow.
It's part of the National Basic Treatment Program in a lot of countries. And the big shift, the really significant thing now, is that these clinical level capabilities are being made for, effective and responsible home use.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Starting with how it actually works.
Right.
Because I think when people hear massager, they're thinking, mechanical movement, something pushing on them.
Exactly. But that's not what this is.
Not at all. This is pure energy, right?
Yeah.
Delivered through sound waves. So how deep are we talking? How deep does that energy actually go?
It goes surprisingly deep.
Mm-hmm.
This device, it operates with these continuous sound waves that are designed to penetrate the soft tissue right under the skin.
Okay.
Now, some clinical references will give you a general depth of up to maybe 7 centimeters, but the specific frequency of this machine allows for penetration to about 82 millimeters.
8.2 centimeters. That's significant.
It is. It's way deeper than any topical cream or, surface heat source could ever reach.
That distinction is huge. So once those high frequency waves get deep into the tissue, what's the core physiological effect?
Well, the sound waves induce two main things, a thermal effect and a mechanical effect. The thermal one is that deep heating, which causes vasodilation.
Vasodilation. So widening the blood vessels.
That's it, widening the local blood vessels. And this increase in blood flow, it just flushes the area, brings in nutrients and oxygen. And that's really the foundational action that's been found to relieve that deep pain and reduce chronic muscle spasms.
It speeds up the recovery cycle.
It speeds up the whole natural recovery cycle. And what's fascinating, like you said, it's not like a heating pad. That just treats the surface. This is delivering mechanical energy deep inside, stimulating the healing response right where it needs to happen.
And the sources really lean into that appeal, don't they? They highlight that it's a natural and green therapy with no side effect, no radiation, non-toxic. It offers a way to manage pain without constantly having to rely on pills.
No more pain meds.
Right. Now, you mentioned the frequency earlier, 1 millihertz.
No.
For those of us who aren't familiar, why is that specific frequency so important for deep tissue work?
Well, the 1 millihertz frequency is really the industry standard for this kind of deep therapeutic action. It means the unit is vibrating at 1 million cycles per second.
1 million times a second.
The source material actually describes it perfectly. It calls it 1 million micromassages per second.
I like that.
Yeah. And that specific low frequency compared to, say, 3 millihertz, which treats more superficial tissue, that's what allows the sound energy to get down to that 82 millimeter depth and deliver that deep heat and circulatory effect.
That makes perfect sense. And since we are dealing with clinical capabilities, let's dig into the tech specs, the ones that really make this feel like something from a physical therapist's office. It's not just an on-off switch.
No, absolutely not. The unit has precision timing, which is essential for safety, for effective therapy. You get a smart timer with 5, 10, or 15-minute settings.
Okay.
And more importantly, it has 3 distinct intensity modes: low, medium, and high.
And what do those mean in practice?
So those modes are defined by something called the duty cycle. This is critical jargon, so let's unpack it a little bit. The duty cycle is just the percentage of time that the ultrasound energy is actively transmitting during the treatment. So low is 30% of the time, medium is 40%, and high is 50%.
So it's pulsed, not continuous.
Exactly. This pulsed energy delivery lets you get the maximum therapeutic effect while still managing that deep formal response.
And those duty cycles, they translate directly into the actual energy output, right?
Correct. The effective sound intensity, it ranges from about 0.72 watts per centimeter squared on low, and it climbs up to 1.210 on high.
Which confirms it can do real therapeutic work.
It does. And the effective radiation area, the AER, is 4 centimeters squared. It's a pretty standard manageable size for treating localized pain.
I also appreciate the little touches, the attention to the user experience. They even thought about the comfort of putting a cold metal head on sensitive skin. Tell us about that pre-warming feature.
Yeah, it's a great user feature. The unit has this sound head pre-warming function that just brings the metal up to a constant, comfortable temperature before you even start.
But here's the clever bit, right?
This is the clever bit. Once you actually start the therapy, that pre-warming feature switches off. This makes sure that the primary therapeutic heat, the stuff going deep into the muscle, is coming only from the 1 MHz sound waves. It guarantees the most effective penetration instead of, wasting energy on just surface heat.
That is a neat piece of engineering. It really shows the quality. But here's where it gets really interesting for me. We've covered the tech, right? The 1 MHz sound waves, the duty cycles, all that. The vasodilation.
The physics of it.
Exactly, the physics. But the list of what this can actually treat, it's surprisingly comprehensive. And it goes way beyond what you'd expect.
Oh, absolutely.
We're talking about things that, a normal heat pack or massage just can't touch, like chronic bone issues. So if you're out there managing that kind of stubborn, deep pain, or maybe you're recovering from a serious injury, we are absolutely going to want to stick around. We're about to get into how this thing can impact conditions like delayed fracture healing and even certain forms of necrosis.
Right. We need to shift focus from just general circulation to very targeted pain relief and regeneration. This device offers a pretty sophisticated analgesic effect.
Analgesic, so pain-killing.
Pain-killing, yes. But it does this by targeting the pain receptors themselves. They're called nociceptors.
And how does it do that?
Well, instead of just masking the pain, the ultrasound energy actually temporarily influences the cell environment, and it interrupts the generation and transmission of the pain signals along the nerves.
So it's like putting up a roadblock.
Think of it exactly like that. A temporary block on the communication line of pain. And that's why it's so effective for that chronic stiffness and persistent regional pain.
And the list of applications, it covers almost every major joint and soft tissue issue you can think of. The sources list all the common culprits: shoulder, elbow, waist pain,
arthritis, sciatica,
joint stiffness. But it's also clearly aimed at sports injuries, neck and shoulder strains, ankle sprains, groin injuries. It seems designed to just accelerate what the body already does naturally.
It absolutely promotes metabolic and regenerative effects. By improving cell permeability and really stimulating circulation at the cellular level, it helps your body get rid of metabolic waste more efficiently. It even acts like a focused stimulation on traditional acupuncture points.
Okay, but now for the really remarkable part you touched on, bone healing.
Yes. This is where it moves beyond simple muscle relief. The unit is described as actively promoting bone remodeling and healing.
Which makes it a tool for some really tough orthopedic issues.
Very challenging issues. We're talking about delayed fracture healing, non-union, that's where a bone just hasn't fused correctly, and even early adult femoral head necrosis. This puts it firmly into the realm of powerful regenerative therapy.
And to round it all out, we have to mention the anti-inflammatory effects. Ideal for reducing inflammation fast, which is key for preventing too much scar tissue from forming. Plus, and this was interesting, there's a mention that it can help with local fat reduction and skin texture, specifically cellulite.
A nice bonus.
A very nice bonus. Now, given all these capabilities, portability has to be key. Let's just quickly run through the physical specs.
Sure. It's compact. The size is 202 by 49 by 70 millimeters, and it weighs about 700 grams.
So, manageable. This really means clinical-grade therapy can, travel with you.
And the build quality supports that. The sound head, the metal part, it's made of aluminum, and it has an IPX7 waterproof grade.
Which is very high, right?
It's a high standard. It means that probe can be used in underwater therapy for up to 30 minutes. That's often a big deal in sports medicine.
No, we have to stress, it's just the metal probe that's watertight.
Correct. Only the metal application probe. Don't go dunking the whole control unit.
Yeah.
But, that high rating really speaks to the overall durability.
So, okay, when we put all this together, the 1 MHz deep penetration, the safe duty cycle settings, the confirmed action on the pain signals, and then this potential for bone regeneration. The value proposition for this machine becomes crystal clear.
It does. You're getting something very similar to professional clinic equipment.
It's a safe, non-invasive way to manage chronic conditions at home. For anyone suffering from chronic pain, this is an effective tool to improve your health, to manage those pain cycles, and and maybe even mitigate the possibility of surgery and related risks.
Which is a huge consideration.
It is. So finding the best value for an investment like this is crucial. We've actually found some price comparison portals that show the cheapest price for this specific model, and you can find that link right below in the description. This is really an investment in accessible, effective recovery.
So what does this all mean? I mean, it means that this high-level therapeutic tech, something that used to require an appointment, a copay, it's now a truly accessible tool.
Right, for self-care, for deep tissue management.
Yeah.
And the key takeaway is just the power of that high-frequency energy. You've got 1 megahertz sound waves inducing controlled, deep thermal and mechanical effects. It's providing clinical-grade pain interruption, metabolic improvement, and, as we said, that very specific support for tough conditions like delayed fracture healing. It's a holistic tool for accelerated recovery. And if you found this deep dive valuable, I mean, especially if those details on bone healing and pain interruption really stood out to you, please subscribe to the deep dive right now. Give this video a like, share it with someone you know who's managing chronic pain, and leave a comment. Tell us what specific feature or tech spec maybe changed your view on home therapy.
And finally, a thought for you to consider before you go. Given how robust and effective devices like this are becoming for home use, what implications does this widespread access to this level of technology really have on the future of physical medicine, on patient autonomy, and on self-care models around the world?